Have you ever felt anxious, like your heart was racing, your palms were sweaty, and your mind was filled with 1,000 racing thoughts? If so, you're not alone. Anxiety is a common, yet often misunderstood experience that millions of people grapple with every day. It's time to shed light on this topic, to dispel myths and break down stigmas. In this video, we'll explore the world of anxiety, from what it is to how to cope with it. So what exactly is anxiety? Is it just being a little nervous, or is there more to it? Let's delve into this. Anxiety, in its basic form, is a reaction to stress. It's your body's way of saying, hey, something's not right here. But here's where it gets tricky. Everyone experiences stress, right? So why doesn't everyone have anxiety? Well, anxiety goes a step further. It's not just about feeling stressed, it's about feeling excessively worried or fearful, often to the point where it starts to interfere with your daily life. And it's not just in your head either. Anxiety has roots in both psychological and biological factors. It's like a misfiring alarm system in your brain, triggering fight or flight responses when there's no real danger. So when we talk about anxiety, we're not just talking about being a bit nervous before a big presentation. We're talking about a complex, multifaceted mental health issue. Anxiety isn't just being a bit nervous. It's a complex and multifaceted mental health issue. Did you know there are different types of anxiety disorders, and each one has its own unique features? First off, we have generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD. This is the worrywart of the bunch, characterized by excessive, uncontrollable worry about everyday things. It's like having a tiny pessimist in your head, constantly forecasting the worst-case scenario. Then we have social anxiety disorder. This is not just about being shy at parties, it's an intense fear of social situations where one could be judged or embarrassed. It's like being that one friend who always insists on blending into the wallpaper at social gatherings. Lastly, we have panic disorder. This one is like your body's overzealous fire alarm, triggering intense panic attacks that can make you feel like you're having a heart attack. Understanding the different types of anxiety disorders can help you better understand your own experiences or the experiences of those around you. Anxiety isn't just about feeling nervous or worried, it can also cause a range of physical and emotional symptoms. Now, let's dive into some of these symptoms. Picture yourself in a rather ordinary situation. You're standing in a queue for coffee, but your heart is racing like you've just run a marathon. That's the physical side of anxiety. Heart palpitations, sweating, trembling, or even feeling short of breath. But it doesn't stop there. On the emotional side, anxiety can feel like an uninvited guest who overstays their welcome. Feelings of restlessness or dread, a constant sense of worry or difficulty concentrating, these are all signs that anxiety might be paying a visit, and sometimes anxiety wears a clever disguise, making you feel detached from yourself or reality. This is known as derealization or depersonalization. Recognizing these symptoms can be the first step towards getting help. So let's continue our journey to understanding anxiety and breaking the stigma. So, what can you do if you're feeling anxious? There are several coping mechanisms that can help. Let's start with deep breathing. It's not just for yoga buffs, you know. By slowing your breath, you can actually help to calm your mind. It's like sending a chill-out message straight to your brain. Now, mindfulness might sound a bit fancy, but it's actually pretty simple. It's all about focusing on the here and now and not getting tangled up in what might happen in the future. It's like giving your thoughts a time out. And then there's cognitive behavioral techniques. This is about identifying those pesky negative thoughts and challenging them. It's a bit like being a detective in your own mind. But here's the thing, there's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to coping with anxiety. What works for your best mate might not work for you, and that's okay. Remember, what works best will vary from person to person, so don't be afraid to try different strategies. Understanding anxiety is the first step towards breaking the stigma surrounding it. We dove into the depths of this complex emotion, exploring its many facets. From its definition, types, to the physical and emotional turmoil it can cause, we've covered quite a bit of ground. We've also shed light on various coping mechanisms, underlining the importance of self-care and resilience. Remember, anxiety is not a sign of weakness, nor is it something to be ashamed of. It's a part of the human experience, a response to stress and uncertainty. The key is to not let it control your life, but to acknowledge it, understand it, and learn to manage it effectively. We've also talked about the value of professional help. There's a wide array of resources at your disposal, from therapists and psychologists to self-help guides and online communities. Don't hesitate to reach out if you find yourself struggling, because nobody should have to face these challenges alone. Lastly, we've emphasized the role of social support. The people around you can provide a safety net, a source of comfort and understanding. Don't be afraid to lean on them when you need to. In conclusion, understanding anxiety is not just about gaining knowledge, it's about fostering empathy, breaking down walls of prejudice, and building bridges of support. Remember, it's okay to not be okay. If you're struggling with anxiety, reach out to a mental health professional. You're not alone, and help is available. Savored this video, fancy another? Click the on-screen video for an even deeper dive into fresh territory. Your support is like a warm cuppa on a brisk day. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, ring that bell for the latest content. Cheers for watching.